I can imagine a situation, though, in which the ruling elite of a country is receiving gratuities on the side that inure to the benefit of the strongman leader and not to the populace of the country. Does that sort of corruption and bribery go on with regard to the Belt and Road?
Absolutely, Chairman. I see this, and I don't mind calling them out, but Captain Traoré and Burkina Faso, as they know that both, whether it's their gold reserves, that is all those proceeds are just in exchange to protect the junta regime. There's a number of examples across, even in Sudan.
When a U.S. general goes on record accusing an African leader of using gold to protect himself, you know something big is happening. In a statement to the U.S. Senate, General Michael Langley, commander of AFRICOM, claimed Burkina Faso's gold reserves are being used not for the people, but to secure the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré. But here's the question we all should be asking. Isn't that gold Burkina Faso's in the first place? In today's video, we'll expose the agenda behind this statement, highlight the power shift happening across Africa, and explain why the world is watching Burkina Faso more closely than ever before. In Burkina Faso, gold is no longer just a mineral buried deep within the earth. It is becoming a tool, a catalyst, a symbol of transformation. Each coin invested in agriculture brings more harvests. Each ounce that funds a hospital saves more lives. Each nugget that strengthens security guards the hope of tomorrow. Burkina Faso is proving that even in a world of uncertainty, a country can rise when it chooses to invest in its people, its land, and its future. This is more than development. This is the story of a nation reclaiming its destiny, 1 gram of gold at a time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The U.S. general has accused Captain Ibrahim Traoré for using gold reserve to protect himself instead of benefiting the people of Burkina Faso. The thing that is not true. The question is why U.S. is concerning about Burkina Faso's gold, and why at this time when Burkina Faso has took control of all of its mineral, and we see road being built, we see financing infrastructures, we see what Captain Ibrahim Traoré is doing. But why U.S. is accusing Captain Ibrahim Traoré? What is behind of this agenda? Welcome and join with me in this video where we are going to explore the truth and to expose U.S.'s agenda to young leader Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Welcome.
Captain Ibrahim Traoré is not just a military leader. He's become a symbol of Pan-African resistance, youth-led leadership, and sovereign control over resources. At just 34 years old, he seized power in a move that shocked the world but inspired millions across the continent. After years of failed leadership, foreign dependency, and endless instability in the Sahel region, Traoré's rise signaled a break from the old guard. Instead of begging for aid, he began talking about resource control, national pride, and security through self-determination. His government began prioritizing domestic gold processing, ending the export of raw minerals, and ensuring value remained in-country. These weren't just policy changes. They were revolutionary statements in a region long controlled by foreign mining giants and foreign-backed governments. Laying the first stone is first and foremost a question of sovereignty. In the environment of gold production in Burkina, for a long time it was said that we were not a gold-producing country. But for some time, gold has become the leading export product. But we do not have control over gold, whether it is research, production, as you have seen the refinery. We asked ourselves lots of questions, and today we decided to put a whole chain together. You follow with fishing that we want to exploit the gold ourselves. And today we are laying the first stone of the refinery. It will no longer be a question of us taking our gold outside to be refined. We refine it on site. We know what the real content of the raw gold that comes out is. That is very important. And also it is necessary that through SONASP, we are in the process of inviting local gold miners to bring the gold back inside, because SONASP is the structure which will buy back the gold, and that we can refine here. A lot of gold leaves Burkina fraudulently, and which also contributes to fueling terrorism. So we invite gold miners, whether collectors or others, to bring the gold back to the central portion, and at the same time also invite SONASP to increase the number of counters to be able to collect the gold. And in addition to this refinery, I hope that in the coming days, we have another bigger project that is underway, and that is waste treatment. A factory which was designed by Burkinabe engineers, which is currently in the test phase, and we hope that in the following hours, they will tell us that the test is conclusive, and that therefore makes a complete chain to be able to valorize our gold. Burkina Faso may be landlocked, but it is rich in what the world wants: gold. The country is one of the top producers in Africa, with reserves worth billions. For decades, these riches flowed out of the country in raw form, enriching corporations in Canada, France, and beyond. The people remained poor. Infrastructure collapsed. Security became a nightmare. So when a leader says, "Enough. We will process our minerals here. We will use our gold to defend ourselves," it sends shockwaves through the corridors of foreign power. And let's be clear, Burkina Faso's move is more than economic policy. It's a direct challenge to the status quo of foreign exploitation dressed as development. General Langley's statement wasn't just an observation, it was a message. By framing Traoré's use of gold as self-serving, Langley implied corruption, without evidence, without proof. But here's what's hypocritical. AFRICOM exists precisely to project American military power on the African continent. It supports leaders who serve US interests. So when a leader emerges who doesn't need them, who doesn't bow, he's labeled a threat. The statement also reflected an old colonial mindset, that Africa's resources must serve Western-approved purposes. When Africans decide how to use their own gold, it's suddenly a problem? That's not security concern. That's control panic. The framing of Traoré's defense efforts as protecting the elite ignores that his leadership was born out of popular demand. He didn't install himself with US money. He rose through the army, supported by the youth.
Et à Bobo Dioulasso.
The global gold market is tightly controlled. Western economies hedge currency, insure banks, and back investments with it. So when Africa starts saying, "We'll refine and keep our gold here," you're not just disrupting trade, you're challenging the monetary order. This isn't just about Burkina Faso. It's about sovereignty over value. If African nations begin using gold to back currencies, fund security independently, or resist IMF dependency, the financial ripple effect will be global. That's what they fear. When Western governments lose control over how and where African gold flows, they lose a tool of leverage. This fear manifests as diplomatic pressure, economic threats, and yes, military rhetoric like Langley's. Resource nationalism isn't a dirty word, it's a right. Every country has the right to control what lies beneath its soil. But when African leaders attempt it, they're called dictators, nationalists, or threats. It's the oldest game in the book, and it's one of the main reasons leaders like Patrice Lumumba, Muammar Gaddafi, and Thomas Sankara were eliminated or overthrown. Traoré's crime is not tyranny, it's independence. He is defying a decades-long tradition where African wealth props up foreign economies. By rejecting that model, he invites both admiration from Pan-Africanists and opposition from international stakeholders. You can't talk about Captain Ibrahim Traoré without mentioning Thomas Sankara, the revolutionary leader who once renamed Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, meaning land of upright people. Sankara also pushed for local control of resources, rejected IMF loans, and cut the salaries of top officials, including his own. His vision was of a self-sufficient Africa, proud, independent, and united. But in 1987, that vision was cut short. Sankara was assassinated in a coup many believe had foreign fingerprints. Today, Traoré is walking a similar path, and the global reaction is chillingly familiar. When a young African leader dares to prioritize his people and control national wealth, the old powers start circling again. Western narratives about Africa haven't changed. The media constantly portrays independent African leaders as strongmen, dictators, or military juntas, while ignoring the will of the people behind them. Captain Traoré's rise wasn't some self-serving power grab. It came from a failing system, supported by the youth and the people who were tired of foreign-dominated leadership. But the moment African leaders reject foreign control, the media switches gears. They're corrupt. They're militarizing. They're authoritarian. It's propaganda. And it's not new. The same was said of Kwame Nkrumah, Gaddafi, and even Nelson Mandela at one point. What matters is not how the world sees them, but how Africa remembers and supports them. Burkina Faso is not alone. The Sahel region is undergoing a political transformation. Mali, Niger, and Guinea have also taken bold steps toward reclaiming national sovereignty, cutting ties with foreign forces and pushing for local control. ECOWAS, once seen as a tool for regional unity, is now criticized for acting under Western influence, often pressuring these sovereign nations to conform. But the people are speaking louder than any diplomatic threat. In rallies and social media across West Africa, you'll hear the same thing. We support our leaders. We don't want foreign troops. We want control over our land, our gold, our future. The spirit of Pan-African resistance is alive. And it's not just political. It's cultural, it's generational, and it's unstoppable. Captain Traoré's decision to process gold in-country and remove foreign control sends a dangerous message. Dangerous for those who have benefited from Africa's disunity for decades. If Burkina Faso succeeds in keeping wealth within its borders, investing in infrastructure, education, and local defense, it becomes a model that others will follow. A threat to the colonial economic template that says, Africa can have raw materials, but not value-added wealth. That's why AFRICOM is speaking up. That's why the media is shifting the narrative. Because they know, if this new African consciousness spreads, their influence in Africa will fade. For good. Burkina Faso's stand is not just for Burkina Faso. It's for every African country struggling with resource exploitation, foreign intervention, and systemic poverty. The message is clear. We don't need to beg. We need to believe. If one country can control its gold, another can control its oil. If one country can defend its leader from external threats, another can protect its sovereignty. This isn't about war. It's about wisdom. About reclaiming the narrative and deciding as a continent that enough is enough. The West can question Traoré's intentions. They can criticize the way Burkina Faso uses its gold. But what they cannot deny is this. Africa is waking up. We are done watching our leaders fall. We are done exporting our wealth and importing poverty. Captain Ibrahim Traoré may be young, but he carries the spirit of a continent tired of waiting. And if protecting him means using our own gold, so be it. To the dreamers of another 1987, keep dreaming. This time, Africa is watching. And we will not allow history to repeat itself. If this video moved you, empowered you, or challenged what you've been told, subscribe now. Share this with your brothers and sisters. The narrative is changing. Africa belongs to Africans, and we are just getting started.
Wow, welcome back, dear lovely family, friends, fellow Africans. Western powers are under frustration. They didn't see Captain Ibrahim Traoré coming when revolutions took place in Sahel. Right now, they have lost controls of gold, especially in Burkina. So, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has frustrating and disrupted their agendas. What they fear from Captain Ibrahim Traoré is to become a model for young generation in the continent of Africa to take controls of our natural resources. What they fear is Africans to take controls of our natural resources. They want Africans to continue to surrender our minerals into the hands of their companies. And that's why right now they're trying to lie about Captain Ibrahim Traoré. They want to say they didn't see roads that are being built in Burkina. They didn't see hospitals that are being built in Burkina Faso. They didn't see schools that are being built in Burkina Faso. Recently, Captain Ibrahim Traoré bought tractors and agricultural equipment to make sure that the people of Burkina Faso are going to feed themselves. They didn't see all those things. They didn't see equipment that Captain Ibrahim Traoré bought for construction. But they see Captain Ibrahim Traoré using gold reserve to protect himself. Other things they are not seeing. They didn't see Captain Ibrahim Traoré in farms. They didn't see Captain Ibrahim Traoré in battlefield, encouraging young people, young Burkinabe to fight to restore the dignity of the people of Burkina Faso. They didn't see all those things. They didn't see mobile clinics bought by Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Recently, Captain Ibrahim Traoré inaugurated several industries in Burkina, but all those things are not seen by the Western power. What they see Captain Ibrahim Traoré using gold reserve to protect himself, but not for the people. So, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, right now they are coming to Captain Ibrahim Traoré. We need to protect this young man. They fear the ideas of Captain Ibrahim Traoré. They don't fear maybe the power Captain Ibrahim Traoré has. They fear the idea that is inside Captain Ibrahim Traoré. It's our duty as the people of Africa, young men and women of this continent, to protect this young man, to protect this young visionary leader. So when good leader came in, they will try to give them bad names. They give them dictatorship. They give them dictators, whatever they can call junta, wherever they have them militant. They have tried to use many or several names to make sure that we pollute our leaders. This time, we should not repeat the mistakes that we have done during Gaddafi regime, during Thomas Sankara, during Kwame Nkrumah, even Patrice Emery Lumumba of Congo, when they came for our heroes. This time, we need to stand up and to say enough is enough. Fellow Africans have been saying this many times, that Captain Ibrahim Traoré is a visionary leader, a leader who is changing the vision of young people. So they don't want to see the awakening of young people, because we know if we are going to take controls of our natural resources, they are going to lose controls of these natural resources. They are going to pay taxes, the things that they are not paying. They are going to buy from us. They don't want to buy from us. They want Africans to buy from them. They know that they are going to lose jobs, because if we are going to process our own gold, jobs that have been done by processing this gold in their homes, they will lose those jobs. So this is not an easy task. This is not an easy task. And that's why Captain Ibrahim Traoré once said, homeland or death. This is the meaning that they will come, they will try to destabilize, they will try even to remove him. We have seen Captain Ibrahim Traoré survived more than 29 coup attempt, but no one is talking about those. But they're seeing other things. Now you can realize why they want Captain Ibrahim Traoré to go out of power. The issue here is not about protecting himself. The issue here is how they can access our gold, how they can access our minerals. That's what they're talking about. Right now, they have lost control on our minerals. And you know why? America, Donbass, was removed from Niger, I think, last year. If it is not last year, it is 2 years ago, when a Niger military leader, General Abdurrahman Chan took power, he closed U.S. drone base. Since then, U.S. has lost monitoring of gold and uranium and other minerals in Sahel. So right now, U.S. what is saying that these countries have using gold to protect themselves. They think that is not true. And you remember the president of Ghana, President Nana Addo Akufo, said these things in Washington. So you may ask where these people are getting these data or these lying. It's we Africans who are betraying one another. Former president of Ghana said the same thing, that Burkina is using minerals to offer Wagner, Russian group to support or to protect regime. They think that is not true. We have seen what Captain Ibrahim Traoré has done within 2 years. All of us, we have witnessed. We have seen. And in this platform, we have been sharing many things from Burkina, from this continent, from Niger, from Mali, what's happening right now there. If you go across the social media, and one thing that I'm very happy with, even a former African Union ambassador to the United States of America, Her Excellency, Madam Dr. Ambassador Alikana Ombolikwao, went last year in Burkina. She met with Traore. She discussed with Traore, and she saw development and changes in Burkina Faso. And yet today, people are coming and saying nothing is happening in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso gold reserve is not for benefit of the people. So we must reject these lies as Africans. We must reject these lies. We must tell those who are trying to change things on here the truth, that what you are saying is not true. And there's no problem, I think, even for protecting Captain Ibrahim Traoré. What's wrong for our resources? Protecting our leaders. What's wrong about that? Because we see even America, they use their own resources to protect their leaders, their territories. So let us, even Africans. So what's wrong for we Africans to use our natural resources to protect our territories, to protect our countries? I think there's nothing wrong. But what I see here is just panic. After losing controls of our resources. And that's what I see. It's not about Captain Ibrahim Traoré using these gold reserves. And these people are those who rejected Burkina to access equipment, logistics, to fight jihadists, to fight terrorism. And today when they see things is happening, they're trying to change stories. We must reject those stories. We must write our own stories. Not a story that will be franchised in Paris, in Washington, or in London, or in Brussels. We must create our own story from Ouagadougou, from Bamako, from Niamey, from Kigali, from Dar es Salaam, from Nairobi, from Kampala, from Accra, from Abuja, from Dakar, from Conakry, from Mogadishu, from Bujumbura. So we have to write our own stories from Kinshasa. Not these stories that have been written outside there. We have to protect Captain Ibrahim Traoré. That is what is important for us, the people of Africa. And we must raise our voice to those who are trying to pollute the image of Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Yes, let us use these resources to protect Captain Ibrahim Traoré, because these resources have been used for others, to protect others. So what's wrong to use our resources to protect our leaders? And why at this time, when Captain Traoré, the people of Burkina are enjoying the fruits of controlling their natural resources, their gold, we must reject lies. We must reject these stories from outside. Let us write our own story as Africans. What about other leaders about this? Will we come together? Will we unite on this? And what if these people will try to destabilize Burkina? What will we do as Africans? The time has come for we Africans to come together. I've been saying this many times. I said when things went wrong in South Africa, also in Rwanda, I said we Africans will be punished if we are not careful, one by one, whether by sanctions or by any means, economic means. Africans will be punished. Why? Because we are divided. If we are united, no one will talk about South Africa. No one will talk about Rwanda. No one will talk about Burkina. No one will talk about Niger. They will talk about Africa. But right now, we are under division. It is very easy. They started to South Africa. They said South Africa there's genocide, white genocide in South Africa. They have already finished. Now they are moving to, they went to Rwanda. They said Rwanda is killing people in DRC. They finished that. Now they're in Burkina. They're talking about Burkina, that Burkina Faso is using gold to protect president, not for the benefit of the people. They will not end there. They will go to other country. So as Africans, we need to wake up. We need to wake up. We need to understand what is behind of these stories, what is behind of this narration. They're creating environment where they can try to remove Captain Ibrahim Traoré. They're trying to rob people, to tell the people of Burkina Faso that your president is not doing very well. He used your resources to protect himself. So they want people to go to the street to make Captain Ibrahim Traoré accountable for wrong thing, for wrong information. We must reject. We must reject. No one is loving us. No one is loving. They didn't tell anything or talk about anything when friends exploiting our gold in Burkina. They kept silent when uranium from Niger being taken by France, powering France, while the people in Niger living in darkness. They kept silent. But right now, they're saying what they're saying right now. We have to reject. Fellow Africans, kings and queens, we have a duty to unite, because without unity, we'll be defeated. Our strength is within our unity. Now, they're talking about Captain Ibrahim Traoré. We don't know what tomorrow they will say. And we don't know what they are thinking about Captain Ibrahim Traoré. This is a time for we Africans to come together to protect our leaders, to protect our heroes, to protect our brave people here in the continent of Africa. If we are not careful, they will try and they will start to pollute our leaders. They will start slowly trying to inject people this long information. At the end of the day, you will find that people are protesting. And that's why right now they are pushing, and they are putting pressure on people, especially in Burkina, Mali, and Niger, about elections. That let us demand the elections, but that is not our priorities. So they know through election, they will divide the people. Now they have seen that through election, they cannot achieve. What they are doing, they are trying now to misinform people. They are trying to misinform people. We have seen good things happened in Burkina. All of us go to the official pages of the president of Burkina Faso. Go to the official pages of the government of Burkina Faso. You will see what good things Captain Ibrahim Traoré has done. Go on social media all over the continent of Africa. We have seen how Captain Ibrahim Traoré was celebrated in Ghana. That was a shock to many African leaders, even the world leaders. It was a shock for the entire world that this man is so visionary, and that's what they fear. So, lovely kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, have no more on that. I'm waiting to hear from you. Make sure that you like the video, you share the video, and also you comment on the video. If you are new, make sure that you subscribe for more information from our mother continent, Africa. Our stories are being written from our homeland here in Africa. Our stories are not coming from Paris, from Washington, wherever, from London, from Brussels. Our stories are coming from our motherland, Africa. We are talking about making Africa great. We are going to make Africa great. After that, let me say stay in power. Have a nice time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Africa.